Alright, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a 12-column responsive grid layout and kind of like an example of how you would do that for a web page. So down here in the CSS, we have all the different widths for the different size, divs column-wise. So like for example, alright, so this is a 12-column layout. What that means is the page is divided up into 12 possible columns. And to get the width values, you divide the number by the total number of columns. So col-1 would be 1 divided by 12. Col-2 would be 2 divided by 12. And then just like that. Alright, so here's all the different widths. So if something was 12 columns wide, that'd be the entire width of the screen. So it's 100%. If someone was 6 columns wide, that'd be half, so 50%. And then it just depends. You just divide whatever this number divided by 12. So 4 divided by 12 is 33%. And anyway, so this is a 12-column layout. So how would you go about using it up here? Well, we have, well, I guess let me just go through the rest of this stuff if you didn't watch the other video. So those are the columns. Then we have this here. This is an attribute selector. And what it's doing, it's selecting any element. So like if it has a class and the value of that class, this means starts with call dash. It'll select it and it'll float it to the left and give it padding and give it a border. So, alright, so let's say we have a div, the class. So remember, all grid layouts are made up of rows full of columns. So this will be the row, and inside here we'll have the different column, the different divs with the column widths. So let's say this very first row, we want it to be the entire width of the screen. So we'll do class col-12. And then this will be where we put our, what do we put in here? Well, we could put our H1, and I'm just going to take this guy, and I'm going to stick him right here. So there. So this is a one div. It's 12 columns wide. It's the only one in the row. There it is. And, okay. So then the next row, and I'm just going to copy this row, because why type everything out? And you can just copy and paste. The next row, let's say we want to have our layout have a left column, a main center part, and then a right column. Like the side columns are going to be very thin. So you could do something like, let me just delete that for now. And so let's say we do 1, 2, 3. They're 3 columns wide. Remember that they have to add up to 12. So let's make the middle one wider. We'll make that 6. So 3 plus 6 plus 3 is 12. And then, what's an example of what you could put in here? Let's say on this side you could put maybe navigation, links. And then on this side, maybe you could have some ads. Advertisements, yeah. And then the middle could be, the main bulk of the body. Alright. So like in here, you could do, let's see here. So you could put like your H2s, this would be, some subheader, and you could have your paragraphs. Let's see here. And you can put, your paragraphs. A couple paragraphs. So that's your main content area. And like your ads would be over here. Alright, so let's say where advertisements are. So you could have a couple of images. So Hamilton. So movie poster for Hamilton. And that's super big. Here's another nice tip for you guys. Let's say you want your image to fit inside of one of these columns. You want it to fit exactly, right? Here's what you do. Down here, we type, so you could do something like, you could do all images, or you could do something like this, which is what I'm going to do. So let's say you don't want images that aren't inside the grid to be affected like this. Let's say you wanted to do only the images inside of any of these columns, right? So you could do select any element that has class call dash, right? And then do the images inside of it. And then in here we'll just use, here, let me, so you guys can see. So then in here, set the width 100%. So it'll never be bigger than, it'll only fit 100% wide. Like that. Okay. So we got that. So remember, again, this selects any of these. It'll select that or this. Anything with the any element that is a class that starts with that, call dash. And then it's finding the images inside it and setting them to be 100% wide. That's what's going on. All right. Anyway, so let's add another one. Black Widow. Hamilton was pretty good, by the way. All right. So yeah, again, so now we have our posters, our ads on this side, and then navigation. Here, I'll whip up a navigation real quick. All right, so let's say in here we could have traffic goals. You know, I'm just going to use this because there's no real pages yet. But home and let's say we had a different page on, you know, our store. We have store. And the third page, you know, maybe we want people to contact us. All right. And of course, you would have it so that these were all on their own lines. Like a good way to do that would be to do an unordered list. Here, I'll just make. And here we go. I just put the links inside of a list, so they're all in their own lines. And of course, you could style the hell out of that. It's a lot better than just how it normally comes. And then you just change, you know, this could be what the page is about. This could be a subsection. Here's your navigation. Anyway, so here's just like a basic 12-column responsive grid layout example for you guys. Peace out.